Now, gold prices have opened lower on the multi-commodity exchange of India today following weakness in international bullion prices amid a strong dollar. Silver prices also declined over 0.5%. Gold prices are down by 1 rupee per gram as compared to yesterday. At 9:05 a.m., MCX gold price was trading lower by 208 or 0.17% at rupees 1,21,300 per 10 grams. In the global markets, gold prices fell as the dollar firmed on uncertainty over further Federal Reserve rate cuts. Although bullion was still on track for its third straight monthly gain. Let's now take a look at gold prices today and compare them to prices with yesterday, last week, last month and last year. Now viewers, I have been telling you that NewsX is the only channel that is getting you consistent gold prices and their updates on a daily basis. So we're talking about gold prices per gram today versus yesterday. Now viewers, if we look at the 31st of October 2025, the gold price for 24 carat is at a 12,162. When we look at 30th October 2025, that was at a 12,163. All right, so 30th October for 22 carat was 11,150 and 11,149 on the 31st of October. And for the 18 carat, 9,126 viewers, and now it's at a 9,125. So there's a marginal difference, not much, but there is a little bit of difference there. So today versus last week, if we look at 24 carat, that was at a 12,452 and now we're at a 12,451. All right, on the 24th of October for 22 carat was 11,415 and on the 31st of October was at an 11,414. 24th October for 18 carat was 9,343 and 9,342 for 31st of October. And can we, yes, so that's on the next slide, today versus last month. 24 carat last month was at 11,759, now it's at a 12,451. Last month, 22 carat was at a 10,780 and it's now of course at an 11,414. 18 carat on the 30th September was at 8,823 and now it's at a 9,342. So viewers, when we're comparing today versus last month, of course, there is a difference there, but on a daily basis, of course, we're seeing a dip. Now today versus last year, 31st October 2024, we're comparing that with 31st October 2025. Now 31st October 2024 for 24 carat was 8,148 and now it's at a 12,451. 22 carat on the 31st of October last year was 7,470 and now it's at an 11,414. Last year 18 carat was 6,012 and now it's at a 9,342. So viewers, we've gotten you the exact figures of what the difference is today versus last year and on a monthly basis as well. And now I have Dr. Sharad Kohli, who's a senior economist, joining me. Dr. Kohli, the little dip that has happened, what can you tell us about that?
Hi, good afternoon, Vaishali, to you and NewsX viewers. In fact, you know, as I've informed you earlier also, I track the point where these prices, not because I'm a great fan of US or I'm a great fan of US dollar, but because that's where the price originates from. So it's, in fact, if you see from yesterday, the prices have gone up a little bit. In fact, it's $4,000 plus at this moment when we are talking. So why I track in dollars, as I've been saying that, is because there's common US from where the rest of the world opens gold prices. I think the recent factors, if we look at these movements, although the movement is not very, very sharp, but the good thing is that gold seems to be now taking a support in technical analysis. When we plot these prices on a chart, so it is taking support at about $39.50, which is good, which means that the correction which took place from $4,381 down to about $3,900 is finally settling down at about $4,000 or $3,950, which means the correction is not happening anymore. This is despite the fact that US and China had a kind of a mini trade deal. It wasn't a win-win situation, but I think China won that trade deal, if you ask me, because it's decided to remove the postpone the rare earth minerals export for 1 year to US. So I mean the restrictions on that. So US will continue to receive those rare earth minerals from China for another 1 year without any doubt. And US in turn has removed or slashed 10% tariffs from 57% to 47%. So not a very great deal. Some other things have been done. Soybean, probably President Trump went all the way to sell soybeans to China, and 25 metric tons of soybean will now be sold in China from US. So in view of that, some kind of respite. But the undertone of gold is bullish. And here's the reason why, Vaishali. Because US has also decided to, President Trump has directed Department of War to start testing nuclear missiles. This is in view of Russia deploying nuclear missiles around the NATO countries. I think this is escalating the geopolitical tensions. And as I've told you earlier, that gold loves geopolitical tensions. Well, you like it or you don't, but somehow gold loves that. So every time it sees geopolitical tensions escalating, uncertainty prevailing, so geo-economic tensions may have subdued a bit. I won't say they have got eliminated right now. But yes, a little bit subdued. But geopolitical tensions, Russia-Ukraine war, there seems to be no end. It just goes on and on. It's become more intense. So I think the gold prices are going through a lot of volatility, a lot of factors driving up, a lot of factors driving down. Sometimes, the positive factors, they get heavier. You find prices rising. Sometimes the factors which pull down the gold prices, they get heavier, and the prices come down. I think there's a kind of as they call in Hindi, kashmakash, that pulling out from both sides, that, you have one side pulling and the other side pulling. Also, China is accumulating a lot of gold. So I think people are going to witness volatility. But yes, more importantly, for long-term investors, Vaishali, I think it's a good time to invest in smaller bits through SIP method.
And that, viewers, was of course Dr. Sharad Kohli, who's given us, as always, a very comprehensive insight into gold prices. Dr. Kohli, I'd like to thank you for joining me on the broadcast.